Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me here at the Dahlia Society. My name's Kristen and this channel is all about sewing your own wardrobe, pattern and fabric inspiration, and I also have an online store where I sell monthly bespoke boxes, fabrics and patterns as well. Today is all about my makes. The last couple of months I've done quite a few makes that I don't think I've shown you everything. I might have shown you a few things. And it's also talking about what I'm wearing today. I've got a brand new make on. Before I do that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm very, very close to 18,000 subscribers, which is amazing. So a huge thank you if you are watching every week and you do subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And if you haven't subscribed, why not think about doing that? I try and get videos out either once to twice a week, and I always try and have inspiration with what I've made and also new fabrics in the store as well. So what I'm wearing today is a brand new make. Now you may have seen this fabric in my store. It's a beautiful deluxe Euro cable knit. It is divine. The first time we had it in, it sold out in pretty much record time. A lot of the colours just went in a day. So I've just had a second delivery of this cable knit in quite a few new colours as well. But the first time it came around, I decided to snap up a bit of this beautiful sage green cable knit. And I was umming and ahhing about what to make because there is so many things you can do with it. It really lends itself beautifully to cardigans. But I've done a bit of cardigan sewing already this month, so I wanted to make something a little bit different. And this pattern had been suggested to me by a lovely viewer and customer of mine called Alison. So hi Alison, I hope you're well. This is the Itch to Stitch Irano top. Now the great thing about this Irano top is it's got a really unique tulip style front, which is really, really pretty. It's something a bit different. It's more of an elevated style sweater. So if you're wanting something other than your just regular pull-on crew neck sweater, this is a beautiful one. It's got a lovely kind of looser mock turtleneck. I'm not a huge fan of a tight polo or turtleneck. I get way too constricted and I don't like the feel of it. So this is a really nice soft looser neck, and it's done on a really unusual cut, like a raglan sleeve. There are no cuffs. Really, really lovely to make. It was a little bit more of an involved sweater make, I would say, because of that elevated design. When I started looking at the instructions, I thought, yeah, this will be perfect, this fabric, because it really needs a nicer kind of a sweater knit or a chunkier knit. It'll look beautiful in so many different either French terries or soft sweater knits. This cable knit, of course, is a viscose poly blend, and I would say it's more of a medium weight sweater knit, but it has a really nice softness and a really nice stretch. So I thought it'd be perfect for the Irano. And the tulip style just looks so beautiful at the front. I'll put some pics in so you can see. Now you might see mine is a little bit more adapted. I actually put the pockets in and did all that pocket stitching detail, and it looked really beautiful. But when I tried it on, I felt like the way the pockets were sitting on the hip just added a lot of bulk for me. So I kind of regretted doing that, but I decided to just unpick the pockets and sew up the side seams, and I'm much, much happier with how it came up. That's particularly for my body shape. I find that anything too pocket heavy around the hips can make me feel a little bit bulked up, a little bit bulkier there. So I like the more streamlined style. And the great thing about sewing your own clothing is you can adapt patterns. You can sew whatever you like. You can change things around to suit yourself. But I think if I made it again and I wanted to do the pockets, I would definitely use a lighter weight, maybe a French terry or a cotton jersey. I think the pockets would sit beautifully. But they really looked lovely. They were all sewn perfectly, but just didn't like the way the bulk sat on the hip line. So yeah, took the pockets out, took quite a bit off the hip seam and shaped it, and look, I am really happy with how it's come up, and I love the color. I've got it on today with a pair of black jeans and little green boots, and it's so nice and cozy because it is really, really chilly here. We've had one of our coldest weeks and we've had a lot of rain. That's one of the reasons why I haven't filmed outside. It's just been absolutely bucketing down. So this morning's the first morning that it's kind of still and nice and fresh, and I don't mind that nice chilly weather when it's like this and there's no wind. It's really lovely. Especially sitting outside, you can hear the birds, have a nice cuppa. But yeah, I really enjoy these kind of crisp mornings. So I really do not mind a bit of wintry weather because the winters here in Melbourne, although very, very cold for Australia, compared to a lot of the rest of the world, Northern Hemisphere winters, you'd say they're quite mild. So for this week, I think most of the temperatures this week is between 12 to 13 degrees Celsius. So it's quite chilly here for Australia. But yeah, love cozying up with a cuppa sitting out in the garden. Next time I probably would go down to the 12 all over. Really enjoy making itch to stitch patterns. I think Candice does a great job having different cup sizes for a lot of her patterns. She does have a fantastic size range. I think it's 0 to 40, which is awesome. So a really great pattern. In the last time the patterns were on sale last month, I bought this, the Busan top and the Tustin dress, which I am dying to make. I've got a wedding coming up in August for a niece, and that really think the Tustin dress is going to be the one I'm going to be making. Now, I'm going to do two versions. I've got one particular fabric I want to use for the actual proper dress, but for the twirl, I'm going to make a wearable twirl with a really nice geometric kind of a cotton jersey. So yeah, looking forward to making that, because I've seen it on a lot of people and it's got a beautiful shape, a nice tie waist, yeah, really lovely clean lines, and a great one for showing off a nice print as well. So looking forward to making that. Now the next pattern is one that I absolutely love. I made it for the deluxe box that were out in April in a black and white polka dot, and I had a lot of comments, people saying that they absolutely loved it on me. I must admit, I really loved this blouse. I wasn't sure if it would be my style with the collar, and you can make it with either the Peter Pan style collar or the frill around the neck and the tie. I'm tempted to make that one next because I love the way it fits. So that's a Helmy top by Forget Me Not Patterns, and of course Joe over in New Zealand, Forget Me Not Patterns are always so beautifully drafted, has gorgeous details on them as well. I made the size 44. It's quite roomy. I actually didn't think it would be as roomy as it is, but a really lovely style blouse with a nice billowy sleeve. Now in the pattern you'll see the sleeves are more of a 3/4. I've lengthened my sleeve, done my full length sleeve with a really nice thick elastic cuff, just to get me through for winter. It's a really lovely fabric. This is a fabric that I had in store that had sold out as well. It's called Cosette Sonara in, I think it's the maple colorway. It is stunning. I'm trying to get more of this fabric because I know a lot of you swooped on this when it came in and it was out within days. And the colors are just the most beautiful, dreamy autumnal shades. Absolutely love this. This is really my color palette. The pics I'll put up as well. You'll see that there's a lot of autumnal foliage when I took these pics, or when hubby took the pics I should say, and really loved the way I blended into that. I love that keyhole front, and I really enjoyed the Peter Pan style collar. Sometimes it's good to make things that are out of your comfort zone. I think this, the big collar thing, although it's not really me, I can find certain styles that I think will really suit me and I'll feel comfortable in. But I think with that keyhole front, it really brings something else unique to the pattern. And you can use a special little button. This one is a nice little tortoiseshell kind of button. I think it's really pretty, and it matches the fabric quite well. Even a nice little pearl button would be beautiful on that. But it's got a nice shaped darts at the front, and also the fisheye darts at the back, and that gives you just that little bit more shape. If you don't want anything too blousy, you want a little bit more shape and definition, this is a gorgeous pattern for that. So the tag is Dreamy Want It, Go For It, and these are from Little Rosy Checks. You'll see here they're real retro style, but yeah, really pretty labels. But I love the blouse, and I've already worn that heaps. I've worn it with a bottle green boilable coat that I made a couple of years ago, just with jeans and tan boots as well. So it's a great pattern for a blouse for jeans, or for going out, or maybe even for work with a nice blazer and skirt as well. So very adaptable little pattern, that one. Now the next pattern I have here is one I made last week. I whipped this up as soon as the fabric came in because I really found that I was needing more sweater knits, more chunky or cozy brushed fleece things. I've got a lot of French terry and didn't have a lot of fleece. So when this beautiful retro fleece came in, I was all over it. It's a poppy print from Europe, very popular prints. You'll see the poppy designs are just so fun and unique and beautiful. Those European prints, there's something about them. They're so colourful, and you feel, I think the pop of colour in wintertime is really wonderful. But I love that unique kind of retro vibe this one has. It's also in a green colourway as well, but this is a really lovely peach and has the grape colour throughout it as well. I made it with a ribbing around the neckline and just with a zigzag around the neck because I was too lazy to get my twin needles out, which is really a bit naughty, but you know what, that zigzag comes up not too bad. And it all ties in with the colourway as well, the stitching that I used. And this is the Nielsen Jarrah sweater. And I've made this sweater in, I think, every different design. There's 4 different designs on the pattern envelope. I've made it with the cowl neck and with the split cuffs. I've made that in a P fabric as well. I've also made the round neck with the curved hem. It's a really great versatile pattern, and it has a lovely kind of drop sleeve effect. But it's a very simple pattern. So I sewed up this whole sweater out of 1 meter of this poppy fabric. So it really doesn't take a lot of fabric. Although I did have the rib separately. It'll probably about 1.25 will just about do all the bits and pieces that you'll need. But yeah, it's a really great stash buster as well if you have got a bit of sweater knit or French terry jersey knit lying around. But love it with just a simple waistband, and I had it made up within under an hour from start to finish. So yeah, really, really simple, easy little sweater, and I've got the beauty is everywhere label on that. So already worn that heaps. But yeah, a really nice, lovely weight sweater knit in the poppy range. And I went on a little bit of a cardigan blitz. I found that I wanted some more simple cardigans in plain colours, and I had some merino jersey that was in my stash from 3 years ago now, and I've been putting off making it up because it is quite itchy. And this merino jersey that I have, I think I bought, yeah, maybe 3 years ago. It might have been from Draper's, and it was actually quite... it was different to what I thought it was going to be. It hasn't got the good amount of stretch that I was expecting either, although the lighter one has a little bit more. It's yeah, I think it's got a little bit more horizontal than vertical, but yeah, it's for a cardigan. I really wished I had have sized up because yeah, there's not a great deal of stretch in it. The only thing about these merinos, if you don't get to feel and touch them, that one's quite scratchy, the grey. The white or the bone colour is a bit softer, but in comparison to the boiled wools that I have in my store, which are merino but just so soft, the quality is just, yeah, 100 times better. But anyway, look, I think these will be fine for wearing over long sleeve blouses or tops. But I decided to make the Helen's Closet Blackwood cardigan. It's one that I made many years ago, and I made it out of a different type of merino jersey back then. It was quite stretchy. This one lends itself really nicely to the pattern, but it's a really simple, really great pattern. You'll see that I wore the grey one with the skirt. I made for Pattern Emporium's The Slay All Day, and I actually had it together as a set. It looked really, really nice. I love these. These are the little rosy cheeks labels as well, that kind of art deco looking one. But the grey is a really handy colour for charcoal if you're wearing throughout winter. It's especially beautiful with that rust colour. But this colour is really adaptable as well, and that's got the Rosy Cheeks I Am Unique label as well. So these labels are all available in the store. But yeah, the cardigans are great. They are just a little bit stiffer and scratchier than what I would have liked, but I will put them to good use, especially over maybe a jersey t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt for winter. So they're a great little layering cardigan, but can highly recommend the pattern. You'll make these up really, really quickly. There's not many pieces, and it's a nice long line style cardigan, very simple, but you can make it in the cropped style or the long line. But it's a pattern that's been around for many, many years now, and you can see why it's very popular. Now, this was probably my most favourite make for the whole month that I made in this gorgeous poppy butterflies and moths French terry. It is stunning to wear. Every time I wear it out, I get compliments because of that really unique, it looks almost like a lead light effect, the moths, the way they are. But really embracing all the browns and greens and autumnal tones at the moment. This is a Hazelwood pattern by Sewciety Patterns. It's a fantastic little A-line sweater. The neck is not quite as high as this, although it's maybe a little bit wider, so it sits a little bit looser at the front, but great for a French terry. I love the wide hemband facings. You'll get separate facing pieces for the hem band because it does sit like that A-line style. Beautiful over a pair of jeans. A really nice length. That's the longer length one. I love the cuffs around the sleeve as well, that nice deep facing. They all have facings. So it's a really, really simple pattern to make if you're wanting something a little bit dressier than just the regular style sweater. the Sewciety Hazelwood will be the one for you. That fabric, of course, sold out in store. I'm trying to get a hold of more of it as well. So if there's something that you like in store you can see has sold out, please put your email address in underneath and you'll be notified when the fabric is returned to stock. And that's the way I do keep all the customers happy that are waiting for things, because sometimes things sell out a lot quicker than anticipated, but especially these really unique prints from Poppy Europe. That I love that dragonfly and moth print, and it looks so lovely with a pair of tan boots and a long line. I've got a camely colour trench coat I wear with that, and the colours look beautiful together as well. And I do have those patterns in store, the Sewciety Hazelwood. I think I made the extra large in that, and the size was awesome for me. So I love that pattern. Another really well-worn make of the month is the Logan shacket by Style Out Patterns. And I've worn this heaps. Not only I've layered it over jeans and boots. I've had a couple of different tops underneath. I've had a brown rib top or a cream top. It's a really gorgeous wool check chestnut. I think there's still the pear tree check in store, which is the green colorway, but it's a really lovely wool blend flannel, a bit heavier than a flannel. It's in between a coating and a flannel. It's really nice and soft and warm and cozy to wear, and so good for throwing over. So if you don't want a dressier style coat or jacket, the shackets are great. I love the buttons I used were I think that were the Saint Pierre from memory, from Pigeon Wishes, those beautiful little boxed buttons I do have in store. They're really lovely. I'll show you up close, the buttons. They are just divine. Nice chunky style button, but yeah, really, really, really pretty with that check wool flannel. And the pattern, of course, was a great one to make up. I definitely would make it again. I was told by a few people that the collar was a little bit short, so I made the bigger collar, but I'm not sure whether the Style Out Patterns have adapted that, but they do have a tutorial now for sewing the Logan shacket, which is always great to follow along. But yeah, it's a really nice one. You can have it buttoned up or unbuttoned, and you can have the pockets on or off. It's really up to you, but it's got a really nice yoke on the back as well. And I think I made the 14 in that, and the size was, yeah, it's very generous. It was fine on me. I don't think I would want to size down though. I think it's nice to have chunkier and bigger to throw over like a sweater, a lightweight sweater. But really, really happy with that. And of course, the shackets are really big at the moment. Everywhere you go in store, you'll find shackets because they are so versatile. I think this pattern would really look beautiful with a boiled wool as well. And on the pattern envelope, I think that the model does have a yellowy colour boiled wool, and it looks perfect for that. So that's another great one to use if you don't want to use boiled wool for making coats or jackets. The shacket would be an ideal thing to make. Yeah, very wearable, and it's nice and casual, so you can sort of throw it on for everyday wear as well. But really happy with the Style Like Logan shacket. And of course, the Frida Kahlo box that was for May, the pattern of the month for that was a discount on the Regalia blouse by Sewciety 7. And wonderful Peggy gave a nice discount on that for all my purchases of the bespoke box. It's a wonderful pattern. This beautiful cotton lawn fabric was very vibrant and very Frida Kahlo-esque, I must say. I think a lot of you really enjoyed that. It's very vibrant. It's a cotton lawn, and you'll see there's lots of birds and plant life on there, and I think it really matched the theme really well. The Sewciety 7, I followed along the Regalia tutorial. There is an online sew-along. You can do that with Peggy. She'll take you through from start to finish, which is fabulous. She'll also show you how to do things like the yoke. But what I love about this pattern, I really enjoyed the puff sleeve. It's like a leg of mutton sleeve, so it's quite narrow through the arm but nice and puffed, and you can make it in the short sleeve version or the long sleeve. And the lengths, of course, you can do the long or the short. I've done the long, but you can do it in the short cropped version as well, and you can make it with a tie for the waist. There's so many different options. I really love the little details like the lovely little tie back. Yeah, she really gives you great instructions. The neck, of course, is not too tight. That's one thing I was worried about with that sort of higher neck, whether it would be restrictive, and it's not too bad at all. I made the size 14, as I do in most of Sewciety 7 patterns. And the bodice with the yoke, the burrito method, she'll take you through how to do all that as well. So that was a really lovely pattern from last month that I've already worn lots, with a nice red chunky cardigan and a pair of jeans. So I do love a good blouse pattern. And of course, the last two things here are from the Pattern Emporium release, which was Slay All Day knit skirt pattern. And I made two versions, one with a split front with this leopard print quite a tight double knit, so I did size up in that. But normal ponties you won't need to. Mum made the black viscose ponty, which we have in store, and hers was brilliant. She didn't need to size up at all. And of course, you've got the option of having the side split or the front split or the back split. It's really up to you. It's a really versatile pattern. I made it with the doubled kind of faced waistband, and I really love that version. Or you can do just plain elastic. It's up to you. The other version I made here was from a gorgeous Mind the Maker organic Solanic knit in the chestnut colour. Really love that, and I wouldn't mind making a sweater top to go with that in the future if I can get hold of some Mind the Maker knitwear, maybe in the next month or so. I think it would be beautiful to have a set, but the quality of that Mind the Maker rib knit is just gorgeous, so highly recommend that fabric. But it's a really good knit pattern for summer or winter, and of course the winter depends how you accessorize it. For summer they'd be great with a little t-shirt or knit top as well. So it's the whole co-ord thing at the moment going on. Everyone's making sets and co-ords, and this would be a perfect knit skirt pattern to have in the stash if you're wanting to do a two-piece set for getting you through your season. Now, at the moment, I am working on my Sewciety Torino boiled wool vest. It is almost finished, but yeah, not quite. And I'm really making sure I take some time with the details. I make sure I take my time with that overlapped edges. They do give you fantastic instructions. I love their booklets, the way they're designed and hand-drawn, and all the photos. They're brilliant photos as well for you to follow along with there. But really happy with how that's coming up, and I can't wait to show you the burnt sienna boiled wool that I've made it with. It's just coming up a treat, so very excited to wear that one. So that is what I'm working on at the moment. I've also got to show you the pattern that was made up for the box for the Wild at Heart. They are still getting delivered, those boxes. They are all on their way. A lot of people have received them, but I don't want to show spoilers for that box till I know everyone's received them, so that will be an unboxing happening very shortly for the beautiful Wild at Heart fabric. We do have a very special deluxe box that will be happening for winter. It will be either at the end of the month or the start of next month, so do keep your eye out for that because they are very limited numbers. There will be 2 colorways. A lot of people have asked, and I don't normally do that for my regular boxes, but for the deluxe boxes I always have 2 color options. But the theme is going to be a really exciting one. It's called Jewel of the Nile. It's amazing, this theme. It's going to kind of have a Cleopatra Egyptian style aesthetic happening with that, but really lovely details, and of course gorgeous handmade buttons will be in there from an Australian designer, a button designer as well, that I think will complement the fabric beautifully. So do keep your eyes out, and of course that will be they'll be happening in the next week or so, and those boxes will be very limited. So I know a lot of you are excited about getting hold of one of those. So hopefully that will be you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed all of my makes, and I would love to hear what your favorite make was from this lot. I'm really enjoying this nice cozy cuddly Irano sweater, and the cable knit is just so soft and lovely to wear. So I can see a couple more things happening in this cable knit in the near future, I would say. So it's still chilly here for quite a while. We'll be really cold here till at least October. So it's quite a while to go yet. Let me know in the comments below what you're sewing. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, of course, you're probably enjoying some nice summery weather. I'd love to hear what you're making up because, of course, summer sewing is so lovely and so much faster than winter sewing, in my opinion. I'll be back on here in a couple of days with some brand new fabric deliveries in the store. I know a lot of you do look forward to seeing those Fabric Friday or maybe even Saturday specials, because there are quite a lot of new deliveries happening this week. We are smack bang in the middle of the winter solstice, so the coldest and shortest days of the years are upon us here in Australia, and it's a really nice time to be sewing up some cozy wintry knits. So I hope you can join me for those vlogs coming up shortly. So take care, have a wonderful week. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.